Hello, my name is Le Père Garneau, and it's a pleasure to be telling you these stories on this unceded land of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation. It's kind of interesting because the first story I'm going to tell you is about a little boy named Caleb. Well, I shouldn't say a little boy because he'd be upset. He sees himself as a great big boy. Anyways, Caleb is a little boy that loves and dreams about adventures all the time. And he loves spending time with his grandfather, who he calls Papa. And he loves listening to Papa's stories about hunting, because Papa loves being in the forest, stories about the Coureurs des Bois, who are our ancestors, my ancestors, that spent their lives exploring Canada. He loves to listen to stories about fishing because Papa is an avid, loves to go ice fishing, and many other adventures. But the stories he loves the most, and his biggest dream, is to someday be a logger, also known as a lumberjack. And he loves listening to stories and dreaming of chopping down the great big pine trees like his ancestors did. Now, one day, he's talking to Papa and he says, "Papa, were you ever a logger?" Papa said, "No, I wasn't. But your mama, your grandmother's father, was a logger." "Oh, what was his name, Papa?" "Oh, his name was Yvon, and he was a logger his whole life." "Oh, I'd love to be a logger someday." "Well, logging is a very, very good job, but it's also a very hard job. If you want to be a logger, you're going to have to eat everything on your plate, and you're going to have to do a lot of exercise to get big and strong." And Caleb kept dreaming of someday being a logger and chopping down those big, huge pine trees and maple trees to build homes and make paper and make furniture. One day, he's in the workshop with Papa, and he says, "Papa, do you have a lumberman's axe, a logger's axe?" Papa said, "Well, it just so happens that I do. This is my axe." "Oh, Papa, can I lift it up? Can I pick it up, please, please, please?" Papa said, "No, I don't think so. Hey, Caleb, you're still just a wee bit too small. This axe is very heavy and it can be very dangerous." "Oh, I'd love to have an axe." Well, later that day, Papa went into his workshop and made an axe for Caleb. It looked just like the big axe, but it was very small, Caleb's size. And it was made all out of wood, so it wasn't dangerous. And Caleb was so happy. He used to spend all of his time pretending he was a lumberman, going into the trees behind their house and going into the forest with Papa and tuck, 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 tuck. And then he would yell, "Timber!" just like the real loggers. And he had so much fun. After, maybe 2 years of playing with this axe, he's back in the workshop with Papa, and he sees the big axe again. And he says, "Papa, I'm all grown up now. Can I try your axe?" And Papa says, "Oh, it's pretty big and pretty heavy. I don't know." "Oh, please, Papa, please, 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 please." Okay, so Papa took the axe And he covered the sharp edges so Caleb couldn't hurt himself. And he said, okay, now, this axe is very, very heavy. So be careful when you lift it, and be careful you don't drop it on your toes. And Caleb picked up the axe and started to lift it, and he started to go from side to side and front to back. The next thing you know, poor Caleb falls flat on his back with the axe and bonks his head on the floor. Well, he was crying and it hurt. So Papa picked him up and comforted him and gave him a nice big kiss on the bump on the back of his head. And he said, well, Caleb, I think maybe we could wait a few more years before you graduate to the big axe. And Caleb is still waiting to be big and strong enough to try the real axe. But in the meantime, he's having all kinds of fun with his pretend axe. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about a skunk. Do you know what a skunk is? Yeah, I think you do. Huh? Phew, skunks don't smell very good, do they? Ugh. Well, this story is about a little skunk, tiny little baby skunk. Well, actually, this story happened years and years and years and years and years ago, before there were even any people on Earth. And at that time, skunks didn't smell bad. Yeah, they were just like little rabbits and squirrels and chipmunks and all the other animals. They didn't smell any different from the other animals. But there was a little baby skunk named Chloe. She was such a cute little skunk. Oh, and she lived with her old grandma, Grandma Linda. Grandma Linda was so old, she couldn't hear anymore. Well, she could hear, but just a little bit. And she could hardly see. And she was always worried about her poor little Chloe. Chloe, where are you, my dear? Chloe. And Chloe, Grandma, I'm here. You're in fear? No, Grandma, I'm right here beside you. You lost your shoe? Grandma, I'm right here. And she would have to go up and yell in her ear, Grandma, I'm here, right beside you. Oh, gosh darn, I'm so old. I can't see, I can't hear anymore. It makes me so sad. But poor little Chloe was always worried about, she was so sad for her grandma. So she went over to see Mother Nature one day and said, Mother Nature, is there something you can do for my poor old grandma? She's so old. She can't see, she can't hear anymore, and she's always worried about me, and it makes me so sad. Could you make her young again? Well, Mother Nature said, I'm sorry, Chloe. I can't do that. I can't make people young again. I can't stop time. I'm very sorry. I can do a lot of things, but I can't make your poor old grandma young again. Oh, isn't there something you could do, Mother Nature? Well, Mother Nature said, well, there might be one thing I can do. She said, what's your favorite flower? Well, Chloe said, my favorite flower, Mother Nature, is a rose. So Mother Nature said, what I will do, what we'll try, is I will give you the smell of a rose. You'll smell like a rose. So maybe Grandmother Linda will know where you are when you're close to her. Oh, that's fantastic, Mother Nature. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Chloe ran all the way home and, Grandma Linda, please come here. What's that, Chloe? Where are you, baby? I'm here, Grandma. Please smell me. What is it that you want to tell me, dear? No, Grandma, smell me. I smell like a flower. You ran out of power? No, Grandma. So she goes up to Grandma and says, "Grandma, smell me. I smell like a rose. Now you'll know where I am." And Grandma says, "I'm sorry, my dear, but even my nose doesn't work well anymore. I'm so sad. I'm sorry." So poor Chloe was heartbroken. She thought she had solved the problem. So she went back to see Mother Nature and said, Mother Nature, isn't there something else you could do? Because my poor grandma can't smell the rose smell." "I'm sorry, Chloe. The only thing I could do is give you a smell so strong that, yes, Grandma Linda could smell you, but none of the other animals would want to play with you because you would smell so strong." And Chloe said, No, I want to. Please do that for me." "Oh, think about it. Please think about it, Chloe, because once I give you that smell, I can't take it away, and all the other skunks will smell that way after, and none of the animals will want to play with you." "Oh, that's okay, Mother Nature, that's okay, that's fine, I'm okay with that. Please, I just want my poor old grandma to know where I am so she can stop worrying." So Mother Nature gave her the smell that skunks have nowadays. And on the way home, all the other animals smelled poor little Chloe. "Oh, get away from us, you smell so bad." But Chloe was so happy that her grandmother would know where she was that she didn't care. And when she got to the house and walked in and said, "Grandma, I'm here." Grandma, "Whoa, boy, whoa, what's that smell?" Chloe said, Grandma, that's me. Mother Nature gave me this smell so you will know exactly where I am." "Oh, you kind, dear little baby, you're so nice." And since then, skunks have smelled the way they do today. So the next time you see or smell a skunk, now very important, never go near a skunk because they're a wild animal. But the next time you see or you smell a skunk, don't go, "Ah, pewy, how gross." But remember that this is all because of a little baby skunk named Chloe who so loved her grandmother that she accepted this sacrifice so she wouldn't worry about her anymore.